Alice tricked her husband Benjamin into signing the divorce agreement. Then she went back home and took off her wedding ring. Finally, she resolutely boarded the plane to go abroad. When Benjamin finally realized that Alice hadn't contacted him for months, he found out that she had already resigned from the company. At that moment, Benjamin suddenly felt an unexplainable panic. When he went home and saw the wedding ring and divorce agreement on the table, he finally realized that Alice had left him forever. And all of this was his own doing. It turned out that Benjamin had always treated Alice as a good buddy. In order to escape his family's control, Benjamin asked Alice to marry him. He even wrote a divorce agreement in advance, planning that once the company was on track, they would divorce. But what Benjamin didn't know was, Alice had secretly been in love with him all along. So she had always stayed by Benjamin's side as his assistant. She thought that after marriage, Benjamin would see her efforts. Until half a month ago, Alice accidentally heard Benjamin talking in his sleep, and the name he called out was his secretary Jessica. Benjamin woke up instantly, guiltily got up and went to wash up. Just then, Jessica called Benjamin. Alice only glanced at his phone, yet she was scolded by Benjamin. After Benjamin looked at his phone, a smile immediately appeared on his face. At that moment, Alice could be sure Benjamin had already betrayed her. But at today's press conference, Alice still dutifully played her role as an assistant. The partners admired Alice, but Benjamin said she was just an ordinary employee and not as capable as Jessica. Jessica provocatively told Alice that Benjamin only had her in his heart. Alice originally planned to endure until the press conference ended, but Jessica deliberately replaced the proposal with Alice's private photos and projected them onto the big screen. This instantly caused an uproar in the room. The reporters ignored Alice's attempts to stop them and frantically took pictures of the screen. The partners were so angry they left immediately. Jessica walked up to Alice and pretended to say pitifully that she didn't mean it. Before Alice could speak, Benjamin forgave her on Alice's behalf and said that this failed collaboration was all Alice's fault. From now on, Jessica would take her position. After saying that, he pulled Jessica away. All the colleagues felt it was unfair for Alice. Alice only then realized how obvious love and lovelessness really were. When Alice went back home, she found that her slippers were missing. When Alice walked into the room, she was shocked to see Jessica being intimate with Benjamin, and Jessica was even wearing her slippers. When Jessica saw Alice, she pretended to want to return the slippers to her. But Benjamin said that Alice could just go barefoot if she had no shoes, and not be so dramatic. Then he pulled Jessica along to go eat, completely ignoring Alice standing on the side. Watching the two being so intimate, and thinking of her 5 years of effort, Alice felt like she was nothing but a joke. So Alice took out the divorce agreement from back then and signed her name on it. The next day, Alice brought the divorce agreement to Benjamin and tricked him into thinking it was a company contract, successfully getting him to sign it. Then, Alice went back home and took all the love letters she had written to Benjamin over the years and burned them all completely. At that moment, Benjamin suddenly came over and questioned Alice about what she was burning. Alice said it was just trash. Benjamin didn't ask further, but ordered Alice to go with him to pick up their mutual friend. When the friend saw Alice, he wanted to give her a hug. Benjamin immediately stopped him. The friend asked Benjamin in confusion, wasn't his marriage with Alice fake? Why was he so possessive? Benjamin didn't know how to explain, so he hurried off to find Jessica. When Alice saw Jessica there too, she immediately didn't want to stay any longer. But when Alice was about to leave, Jessica stopped her. Jessica took out a watch and showed it off to Alice, saying that Benjamin had given it to her. Alice instantly recognized that it was the heirloom her grandmother left her. Just as Alice was about to grab it back, Jessica threw the watch on the ground. Alice was furious and slapped Jessica across the face. But this was exactly what Jessica wanted to see. Benjamin shoved Alice down and tenderly carried Jessica to the hospital, completely ignoring the injured Alice. Even the friend couldn't stand it anymore. He asked Benjamin, since you don't love Alice, why don't you divorce her? But unexpectedly, Benjamin said, in his eyes, Alice was nothing but a free nanny. Little did he know Alice was right behind them at that moment. When she heard Benjamin talk about her like this, she finally saw Benjamin's true nature completely. So Alice went back home, packed up her luggage, left the divorce agreement and wedding ring on the table, and left Benjamin forever. A month later, Jessica frequently made mistakes at work, and her colleagues all complained about her. Even Benjamin found her unbearable. But Jessica said that it was all Alice's fault. Benjamin no longer sided with her either, and directly said it was because Jessica was incompetent. At that moment, Benjamin finally remembered that Alice hadn't contacted him for a month. So he called the supervisor and told him to have Alice come see him. The supervisor then told Benjamin that Alice had already resigned. He naively thought that this was Alice's way of attracting him. He sent Alice a message ordering her to cook dinner and wait at home for him. But when Benjamin returned home, he found that Alice was no longer there. There was only a divorce agreement.